Hi, guys. Welcome to the Tuesday Night Music Show, where sometimes we talk about music. We're going to attempt that tonight. And just before we go any further, we are brought to you by DJ Event Planner. You can check them out as well as our other sponsors in the description of this video on YouTube. So I have an interesting topic tonight, gentlemen. I wanted to dive right into it and maybe save a record roundup a little later on in the show. So don't worry if you've got a record. You're going to be able to talk about a record tonight. I promise you that. Has anyone here ever heard of a listening lounge?
Yes.
Anyone else?
Well, I don't think it was named that, but yes, it's more like, well, they sit around and drink and just listen to music, right? Like lightly background. Yeah. It's a concept that's been going on in Japan for quite a while, I guess. Robin Wilson was saying earlier today, she had said that when she was in Okinawa, they had something like that. Well, they're becoming popular again, and they're starting to make their way to the U.S. And just to give you an idea of what we're talking about here, with the Japanese concept of a listening lounge is this. It's a bar, but you don't talk in the bar. You just sit down, chill out, listen to music. So you can go by yourself. You can go with a friend. And in the article I read here, they said it's probably a really crap first date. But if you know somebody real well, you know, it'd be a nice place to bring them. You don't have to talk or anything. You can just enjoy the music. And it sounds weird until you've done it. And after you've done it, you dig it. I suppose it's probably not for everybody, but, you know, as many things in Japan aren't for everybody, you know. They don't always translate well, like anime, perhaps, but some people dig it.
Yeah.
And I was just looking at this article here. I'll just do a quick screen share and show you what I'm talking about. So they're talking about using things like to-noise speakers and Macintosh tube amplifiers, vintage record players. So it's high-end stuff. It's to give you guys, you know, to give anyone there a really cool listening experience. And they're set up cool. You know, the vibe is usually kind of like a cool interior of a home kind of thing, and a little less wow and a little more cozy. So the reason that I'm talking about this is because they're opening one in Milwaukee. And they're opening one in Milwaukee 5 doors down from my house. Like right down the street. And like I'm in the middle of the block. It's at the end of the block.
Yeah, super convenient.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if it's something that I'm going to be able to get involved with. I don't know who's doing it. I don't know if they really care to be involved with me. I don't know. But it's happening. And I definitely want to check it out. And they're talking about doing food and stuff. I'll show you the building here. Doing a screen share. This is the building. It was called Lee's Luxury Lounge for like 20 years. Lots of noise there because they go outside to smoke cigarettes. And, you know, I've been tempted to call the cops a couple times. I haven't, but was tempted. They're talking about doing food at this one too. So, and they're also talking about having a small event space. Not sure how the parking is going to work out with that, but whatever. But yeah, it's coming. I don't know when. They haven't named it yet, but it's supposed to be opening soon. That's the plan. There's several people involved in opening it. Somebody who owns a bar here is involved, and some people who own record stores are involved. It says here too, this little place I read here. The upcoming concept featuring collections from local and national vinyl record enthusiasts will be the first of its kind in Wisconsin. So it sounds like they might be bringing in other people, and hey, I'm the local. Maybe I'm not very exotic sounding, but you know, I am right down the road and I have a few records that maybe I can contribute. The other thing you were talking about was it wasn't necessarily about doing. I think I get it. I do this at Safe House. It's not about doing a set of 80s music or a set of jazz or a set of rock. It's about just playing cool songs kind of in a way where you're vibing with the audience. It's the kind of thing I do at Safe House in my warm-up sets. You know, I'm going from the Knack to Spice Girls to Leonard Skinner to, you know, Adele to whatever. I'm just all over the place. And I was just wondering, I thought it'd be fun to do for this show. If you had like an opportunity to play at a place like this, what kind of weirdo type of records would you put together to play? You know what I mean?
Good
like
question.
it's Eric Night at Listening Lounge. Eric's going to turn us on to some weird, cool, groovy stuff. We're going to chill out. We're going to have a drink and we're going to listen. What's he going to play? That's what I thought would be fun to do in the spirit of being the music show.
All right. I'm going to start off one toke over the line.
All right.
Stuck in the middle with you. Then I'm going to go I Love Music by the OJs.
Nice.
Continue. Let's share everybody out. What else? That would be my three. Something like this kind of lounge, you know?
Sure. Smooth.
You don't hear every day on the radio, and it's good stuff. And they're going to be, wow, I like that song. I forgot about that song.
Yeah.
I think that's more what this lounge would be, you know. You don't want to hear all the top 40, what's hot right now. And I wouldn't think anyway in this type of lounge.
No, I think it's almost avant-garde in a way. I remember there was a bar that is now something else. And it was, what was it called? It was called Groove. It was across the street. It didn't last long. And the sign on the building was a giant Technics 1200 tilted sideways. And if you went in there, they were all volunteers. So I didn't get involved because I'm not doing anything unless you pay me. But they would bring in a set of 1200s, a speaker, and there were guys in there who would only play 45s. And I heard some neat stuff I'd never heard before. And I heard some things that now they're like lexicon with me. Like, I don't know, we're going back 20 years. I remember that was the first time I ever heard William DeVaughn Be Thankful for What You Got was in that bar. And I had to go home and Google it and find it. And I bought the CD because I wanted the long version and I couldn't download the long version anywhere. That was back then. But yeah, I think it's kind of almost a rare groove sometimes. And it's just about creating a vibe, you know? And you're really good at that, Eric. You like to pull songs that I forgot about, like completely forgot about, or songs that I didn't even know sometimes.
Like Hearts, Monty Python?
Yeah, like Hearts. Exactly like
Oh, you knew that song. You just didn't know it was Monty Ballin.
I'd forgotten about that song, and I had no idea it was Marty Ballin. Yeah, so. Where do you think you take something like this, Howie?
I'm torn between two different things because I used to do something very much like that. When we got done with the club, everybody come back to my house and we would do a theme night, and it could be anything. It could be, to modernize it, I would say, hey, it's Daft Punk night. We're going to play all their albums and just play them back to back. But if I was to I have a crate here of like stuff that's kind of off radar. The Dance and Chant, Yolanda Be Cool.
Oh yeah, sure, that's a good one.
Yeah, Poor Pitiful Me, Linda Ronstadt.
I love that song.
Modern English, Hooked on a Feeling, Blue Suede.
Yeah.
On the Road Again, Canned Heat, on and on and on like that.
Yeah.
So it depends. I mean, if they're going to open it up, can they really do a theme night, or did they don't want it to be? Well,
I don't know what their concept is going to be. What the article I read, the Japanese model of it is, there's no theme; it's a vibe. So they were saying how you're going to hear a rock song and a jazz song and it's just all these different, a folk song and an R&B song, and it's going to be the right song. The crowd's vibing on it. You're like, you're feeding off the crowd. And this is why I like to go in early to Safe House and do my warm-up sets like I do, because that's what I do. I'm watching them. Oh, they like this. Oh, they probably like this. Oh, maybe they like this. And nothing makes sense. So I've almost been practicing for this and not even knowing it.
I want to go in and see their record collection. I want to go through that wall. Like, what do you got? What do you got?
Yeah, I have no idea what it's going to look like. I mean, and what they're going to do with the concept. They're going to, of course, put their own spin on it, but who knows? To me, it just sounded very interesting, and it sounded like a neat topic to talk about. As music people, what would we be playing,
I love the idea.
Off the top of my head, I'll go weird. I'd love to have an opportunity to play a song like Rio de Janeiro by Gary Chris. I'd love an opportunity to play some Avalanches. I don't know if you've ever heard of Avalanches. It's very chill. There's a song called, how's it called? Since I Left You. It's really good. Maybe The One's Flawless. I would get weird with it. I would get totally weird with it. I know I would. I would play Win by David Bowie, because no one ever plays Win by David Bowie. Just, I don't know. I think I get it. I don't know what their interpretation of it's going to be. And how much they, like, if I were to have the opportunity to do anything down there, how much leeway I would have, or how much leeway would they give me? How much artistic license would I have to do what I wanted to do? But who knows?
That's the thing. Like, you don't know what they're looking for at this point either, musically. So
they might not either till they see what the crowds are coming in and what they're vibing to. It's different every day.
Depend on the crowd. Yeah. That's what I think.
And you wouldn't know either, though. I don't know. That's part of the fun, is like not know. Oh my gosh, I got 10 seconds to pick a song. Boom.
I do it on the fly now. Yeah, I do it all the time, and you just kind of throw hand grenades out there. You just it's almost like you're constantly testing your scientific hypothesis to see what the result's going to be. It's like, I think maybe they dig this. And you just watch for the toe tap, or you can even see, as soon as you drop a track, you can't hear the conversation, but you can almost see somebody turn to the other person, say something, oh my gosh. And, you're like, okay, they're talking about the song. So I hit a button. So I'm going to do more stuff kind of like that, but maybe not exactly like that. I don't know. It's fun.
It just goes back to what we've all said for years and years as being successful DJs, is learning how to read a room. That's number one. If you're going to be a DJ, is to know how to read a room. And I think this lounge is going to be the same thing. I don't know what they want musically. We don't know. You don't, but I would think just read the room and go with it.
Well, there's no dancing. I mean, that's not the point here. It's
right. It's listening. Yeah.
It's listening. They're talking
in the music
with very high end stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Which is kind of, and John, I mean, you just did something like this, because I was in the room when you did it, or I was on the patio when you did it.
Yes, we just did this live in Atlantic City, the Chill event, and that's exactly what that type of music is. Like Jay and I have this thing on Sunday nights. Usually we start about 9:00 East Coast and go to about 2 a.m. And the Sunday is a chill vibe, and we're just playing B-sides off stuff, and it's nothing. You can't dance to it. We're playing, Deep Purple from the Osmonds. We're playing Evergreen from Barbra Streisand. We're playing all the this oddball. Ain't nothing like the real thing from Marvin and Tammy Terrell. And it's just that kind of groove. Like, we could just see people like wrapping up their Sunday, just getting things done, and that's just playing in the background. It's not distracting. It's just what's right for that crowd. You're not giving them sing-alongs. You're not getting them riled up and rowdy. I think it's a great thing. I think that's going to be a fun place, and you should definitely go check it out. And I would want to play a night without hearing a night. I wouldn't want to know.
Well, no, I mean, you don't go in there and say, hey, I want to to be the first guy up there. No.
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 You go in, it's right up the road. I can walk up. And that's the cool part about being right up the road. I can walk up there for an hour and say, okay, that was enough of that. I can come back here, do what I want to do. Yeah, I'll go for another hour or maybe a half an hour. It's literally like 50 paces away. It's like it's right there.
We didn't even have to drive, just stroll on.
Our houses are incredibly close together and it's 5 doors down. So,
Wow.
yeah.
If they get to know your face over there, you're like, I'd like to give this a go sometime. I'm like, well, what nights are you available? That's probably how quickly they'll give you a slot over there if they're going to.
Yeah, I mean, let's try it. Let's try some things. I wanted, and if I were to do it, if they were, I mean, I don't know when it's even going to open or anything else, but it'd be fun for the wintertime. And it would be fun to do like on stupid nights, like Tuesdays.
Yeah.
Or, where there's not a lot of other things going on. We can go out and do anything. And there's not a huge crowd, but there's a little crowd. I almost like to work with little crowds to see if I can move them. And then
I almost want to use their music for the first couple, like not bring your own. Like, I just want to see what's there and what's this? Let's play that.
Oh, I would totally want to create
What is this?
Totally.
When we know our libraries, we know what our go-tos are, but you walk into like a strange record collection, it's like, I don't know, gonna make
it's
the best
it's
of
funny.
Yeah.
I just thought of that. I could literally go up there, like if they wanted me to do some kind of 7 to 10 set, I could go up there at 6:15, hang out for 20 minutes, feel out who's there, come back, put a crate together, and go play based on what I saw.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's not like I've got to drive 3 towns over to get the record. I could literally be like, ooh, you know what? I want to play this record, but I don't have it.
Yep.
Okay, this track is 7 minutes long. I've totally got time to go home, limp home, grab the record, and go back.
Ooh.
That is funny to me now that I'm thinking about it. That is funny.
Yeah,
but
that's great.
You did a really good job with that patio, though. I liked what you played. I liked the variety that I heard. And
yeah, we did Alan Parsons,
we were having,
Bjork. We were doing all kinds of weird stuff.
Yeah, didn't you do Army of Me or something like that?
Army of Me was.
Yeah, that's a cool Bjork song. I haven't heard that in a while. You were doing some neat ones. And you played my Shalimar track, and that was kind of fun. Just never hear it. Matt, are you anywhere with us? You got anything to say about this?
Yeah. So, and I think we might have something similar going on in my area right now, because about once a month there's a theater here that has an event called Secret Record Night.
Okay.
And so the idea is you show up not knowing what you're going to hear or whatever. I haven't been able to make one yet, but I have a feeling it's more of that. You're actually showing up somewhere in anticipation of, I don't know what I'm going to hear tonight, but I'm going to develop favorite DJs. I'm going to learn some new music, things like that. I think if I were to do one, some ideas that come to mind, or maybe some bands or some albums that are far from one-hit wonders, but are albums like Brothers in Arms by Dire Straits, stuff like that, where, or different bands like that, where people might think, oh yeah, I know Money for Nothing. I know Sultans of Swing. What else do those guys do?
Right.
Like, well, here you go. Let's reintroduce Dire Straits, or let's listen to even the Eagles' Hotel California album. I don't know if any of you all will know or realize that some of these other songs were on here too, some other hits or some other, or find your new favorite Eagles song that's not played every hour on your classic rock station.
Yeah, I think, the less pedestrian it is, the better at something like this. Mm-hmm. I mean,
yeah.
I know even when I'm working at the club, I want to give them as much as I can a different experience than they're going to get anywhere else.
Yeah.
That's what I want. Mm-hmm. I don't want to play what's hot. I want to play what nobody's talking about right now, and it's pretty cool. That's what I want to do. And that's the fun part about working there. I'm able to do that. So I don't know. This would be, but it's all record though. I mean, that's kind of the catch. And was kind of the fun part about being a DJ in the old days. You had to have the hard copy of it, or you didn't have it. You couldn't, you could, right. I guess you could tape, you could make a cassette recording of it if you had to have it, but no one wanted to play those.
But
so nobody ever did play those. I certainly didn't.
This could actually introduce something new to a younger generation that, like, this is what it used to sound like with high-end tube systems like Macintosh and a great, Technics turntable.
Right.
And, they'd be like, wow, we really missed something,
The warm tube amps. I mean, I have no idea what they're going to put together for a system, but that's just what the article had said they were doing in Japan with that high end stuff. And it makes sense, that they would do it that way.
Sure.
Because it's all focused on the listening experience. It's not secondary. It's the main part, the main meat and potatoes of being there is hearing something that you can't hear in the same way anywhere else.
Mm-hmm.
I can remember going to people's houses to hear their system and laying awake at night thinking, I've got to hear that Aldo Nova on that stereo at that guy's house. Or I really want to hear, what Tom Tom Club's going to sound like on that guy's, new stereo. Because you would hear it in a different way. I mean, that would excite me. And that was a thing back then.
Yeah.
With some of the people that I ran around with. I don't know.
Mm.
I miss the sound of vinyl. I really like the vinyl sound compared to CDs, MP3s, cassette. Those were the worst, I think. But
They were hissed and everything else.
yeah. CDs were decent,
Yeah, I don't have a problem with CD sound. CD is the best sound we've had. Really, it's really good. As a music collector, though, it's just, it was fun to have the record. It was just fun to own that, especially if it was something that not everybody else either could buy or even thought to buy. When it was effective, it was cool to have that. And sometimes there were DJs out there who weren't particularly good at what they did, but they had the right music that other people didn't have, and that made them who they were. So when things like digital media came along, they kind of lost their trick they had, because anyone could get their track, and Shazam ruined it for a lot of those guys. But if you've got to have a hard copy of it, that's just, to me, it's very interesting. I almost feel like I'm, got a little redemption from collecting back here, grabbing all this goofy stuff.
You could bring out a duffel bag every Tuesday night from 7 to 10 if you get any good with them over there.
I've got a little diamond plate record tote that I've had for years. And I think you could probably put 18 to 20 records in it. And that's a good set right there, as far as I'm concerned. That's fine.
Yep.
It's not quite a crate. It's about half a crate. But
you bring up a good point, Brian. Back in the day, you had to have this collection on hand to become a DJ.
Right.
Today, anybody could be a DJ with all the MP3 downloads or try to be anyway. Try to, they don't have to have them on hand now. They can just download them and, okay, I'm a DJ,
I can remember we had these collections at the first mobile company I ever worked at. There were 45s primarily. There were a few LPs. And it was stuff that wasn't lighting the world on fire, but it was stuff that you kind of had to have on LP. Like most of the 22 systems that we had a copy of the Animal House soundtrack. So you could have a copy of Shout, and there were some other songs on there that were doable. I think they had the Big Chill, and there was like a Glenn Miller album there kind of thing, but most everything else was 45.
Yeah.
And I can remember when I would think to say, hey, would you mind if I grabbed a CD player? Because I had things on CD that a lot of people didn't have. And I would bring stuff to these gigs, and they were just these tools that, and it sounds so stupid today when you can just have access to everything. But, imagine having a library of 400 songs, and those are the 400 songs you're limited to, and you have to really think about what order to put them in to make it even effective. and how to present them to make an evening effective and what to say between the records and all these things. That's kind of where it was. It was all the same music. You said to present it in the right way. Take that, do your best with that. And then all of a sudden you add this foreign stuff to it that is really good. And I would bring a small CD case, or I bring a small crate even of my own personal things that I could play that nobody else could play because I had them. And man, did it make a difference. Some of the things that I could play.
Yeah, that's the spice in the sauce right there, man.
And there were even things that, maybe I shouldn't have played, but I had them, so I did. And they worked, but I wouldn't have thought to have played them. I had a lot of house music, early house and early techno, that I would play at weddings, and people thought it was amazing that I had this shit. Looking back, why did I play that stuff? But they liked it because it was different.
Right.
And it sounded pretty good. So, yeah, it's for a guy my age who came up like I did, this is a neat concept. So I just thought I'd share it with the class and see what your reaction was to something like that. If something like that would be interesting to you here. But
I think it's great. I think it's a great concept. I think it's going to go over well. Yeah.
And I don't think you'll have a fight. You don't have, if it's a listening club, everybody's going to be chill. You're not going to have any trouble.
Well, again, I mean, the people who are doing this, it sounds like that they kind of have their own thing going on. A couple people have record stores, or they're throwing names out there and things that I guess I'm supposed to know, but I don't. They own this bar or this record shop. I've never heard of any of them, but there's somebody and they've already got a vision, I'm sure. So I don't want to go in there. If I were to go in there, I don't want to go in there and, I guess upset the apple cart too much, but me. I can't.
Yeah, you want to go see what it's about first before you go in making changes. So
No, there's something.
Well, I'm not going to change anything. I'm going to tell them how to do their job. I just hey, man, can I just come in here and do my thing? Because I'm happy to.
Yeah.
And that I wouldn't be hardcore about dough on or whatever. It's right up the road and it's fun. I think I want to try it. You want me to commit to it all the time? Yeah, you got to pay me, but I'll do it once in a while, kind of thing. I don't know. We'll see.
Well, that's the caution. Like the people that are going to want to audition for that are probably the DJs they're not going to want playing in there because they're going to be playing hits and bangers. It's like, you're not the right fit for what we're doing here.
Yeah,
Exactly.
So it's going to take them a while to find people that are grounded. Like, when you put it to this groove that you want to stay in this parameter, the young kid DJs, a lot of the newer ones, they don't know anything about that stuff. They know hits. They know top 40. They know
right. Yeah.
So the programming is going to be key.
There were some, like I said, that place 20 years ago, Groove across the street. There was some guys in there that played some neat stuff, and they were playing for a bar tab. So but they had some neat stuff, and it piqued my interest. It was what I think they call rare groove is what they were playing, and it was really good. I enjoyed it. I don't know if anybody else in there was really appreciating it quite like I was when I would go in there, but I would really enjoy listening to their sets.
This kind of reminds me of something that's been going on around here for a while, although I don't see it much in my area. I think it's called, John, you might have heard of this. What is it called? Silent Club or Silent Disco?
The Silent Disco?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Everybody in there is wearing headphones. And you walk in, it's silent. You don't hear nothing.
Oh, it's all in the headphones.
You got the headphones to hear what
Right. And usually there's a couple of different programmers. So there's 3 different channels you can tune into.
Exactly.
And whatever button, A, B, or C, you're either lit up in blue, green, or red. So whoever's lit up in blue is listening to what you're listening to, and everybody's just kind of listening to their own thing.
I haven't really tried it, but from the people I know that have rented those systems, they said they did it, because of noise ordinances, and they said the headphones sounded like ass.
Well, probably, yeah.
Didn't Jay just do one of those recently?
Did.
Huh?
Did Jay do one?
Yeah.
That's great. Yeah, he did. Yeah.
Yeah, he did one. He's told the story in here. But he was working with another DJ, and one DJ was going house or hip hop or something, and he went another direction. And they had fun with it.
Yeah, they tried it locally. Yeah, I never would have known about it, but my stepdaughter went.
I think it was for it was a corporate gig.
Yeah.
If I remember right, it was for some big corporation. But yeah, I mean, they were talking about it pretty heavily, like it was a new concept. I want to say 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And England, it was big over there because they all live on top of each other there.
Right.
You know, so they were
Keep
it down, right?
trying something that was, less noise. But man, I don't
Or
know.
they can actually stay till the bar closed.
Didn't take off in a big way, but yeah, interesting concept.
Yeah.
Right. And I brought that up for a reason. I think the lounge thing that you're talking about is going to go over way better than that silent.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
from what you described, Brian, it just sounds to me like they're going to, they're going to pad the walls just right. They're going to have top of the line speakers.
They better pad the walls just right. I live here.
This isn't going to be a raging party by
I'm
any
just
means.
saying. They need to have to do that.
You could do that. You could actually have a sweet spot that covers the whole room if it's done right,
Yeah.
and you use those tube amps that are nice and warm. Mm.
They'll do it right. I mean, they're going to do it right, and it's not going to be this banging, bar
Right.
club experience. It's going to be a chill listening experience. And I sit down here and I listen to stuff on the studio monitors at a volume that's very pleasing when everyone's in bed and no one complains.
Mhm.
So, it can be done. You don't have to blow people's heads off.
Right.
No, and I don't think you would be doing that in this place anyway.
No.
It's not going to be. Yeah. We're
It's
talking
just not
about
that
those tube amps that crackle until they warm up a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Remember those?
I'll
Oh
be-
my God. Yeah.
I'll be interested to see how that turns out, with the parking and so forth.
Oh, well, that's always been an issue here, but I mean, that's not going to be any different. The one weird thing about playing anything like that, which, like I said, I'm doing for warm-up sets at the club. What you don't want to do is wind them up too much, but you don't want to let them fall asleep either. So
Right.
you've got to keep it not here, but definitely not here. It's got to be here.
Yeah.
It's got to be here all the time.
Yeah.
So selecting songs is
You're not going to be doing
more challenging than you'd think it would be because you don't want to put anybody to sleep.
Yeah. You won't be doing Evergreen by Barbara Streisand in there.
No, I won't be playing
Right,
Evergreen.
John?
I like the
Right.
song.
Right.
I like Barbara Streisand. That's
I
the
love
first
it.
song
Yeah.
that used to play on the radio, and I used to get mad when it came on the radio because at the end I'd cry, and I don't know why.
That's all.
So if that song came on, I would go
Happy
outside.
Barbara. Yeah.
What
I would
song?
just Evergreen Barbara Streisand.
Yeah.
Evergreen.
She has that note at the end, always and forever. That note, for some reason, that note made me cry. I don't know why it did. But I'd have to go outside or something because I was getting angry. God, this song, I don't want to hear this. Luckily, we lived in California and it was nice out at the time, so I could just go outside anytime.
Brian, I just lost all respect for you now.
Sorry.
Barbara Streisand.
What was I, 6? Come on, man.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
It's a while ago. It wasn't like yesterday.
No.
I just heard it last week.
No. There is a video, and I don't know if it's directly from the movie or is from an outtake because I don't want to watch A Star Is Born with Chris Christopherson and Barbara Streisand. But there's a video of her doing that song live on a mic.
Mm.
It's amazing. It's a one-take thing, and Chris Christopherson's there.
No, that guy can sing. Yeah.
Yeah, but he isn't impressive in this. In fact, it looks like
Really?
he's just in awe here. But yeah, you should watch that video sometime. It's absolutely amazing.
I have a feeling you're going to roll it after the show. Whether
class, we can see it.
That's in your own time kind of thing.
Wait a minute. Do I hear Barbara Streisand? Hold on. Is that Evergreen playing?
Just chopping onions again.
No, Brian, I'm screwing with you. You know what?
Whatever.
Yeah, we all have that song that really, you know what I mean, does something to you. We all have it.
Yeah. Well, there are, I have made no secret that I love melody and harmony. Beats are great. Just boom, boom, boom. Yeah, you know what? To me, that's dessert. That's just dessert. It's fun. It doesn't. It you don't have to think. I like it. I like it a lot. But I also really love music that has like movements to it. You know, I really enjoy that. And some songs just have little nuances in them that are so unique, and chords in them, and progressions and changes and things that, yeah, turn me on, man. I dig that stuff. Yeah. And Evergreen is one of those songs, but it's, you know, I like that kind of stuff too. I really do enjoy that, on top of just, you know, I like the simple stuff too. The simple stuff can be brilliant, absolutely brilliant. But then
I'm going to listen to Evergreen again now, because
yeah, it's a weird tune because it doesn't really have verses and choruses. It's almost a poem. And yeah, the one you need to listen to is this live thing. We've already talked about it enough. So
she's got a great voice anyway, Barbara Streisand. She's got a voice, you know, out of this world. You know, but
interestingly,
had a voice. Karen Carpenter. I always heard her voice.
Oh yeah,
right. She really, I think, she was great. You know, other than the eating disorder, which
well, that doesn't come in that.
Yeah, but I'm just saying. But I always thought her and her brother Richard did a great job as the Carpenters. I always liked them. You know,
the Carpenters of Downey, California.
Touch.
Yeah. No. But
they have what is it? They bought apartment buildings. They were like doing real estate investments. And one is called like We've Only Just Begun, and the other one is called they're right across the street from each other. This is real. The other one's like I don't know, Top of the World or something.
I was gonna say Top of the World.
It's something like a Close to You. I don't know what it's a bad name for an apartment. It sounds crap, doesn't it?
I'm living on top of the world now. I got that apartment on the top. Yeah.
But those buildings are still there, and the names are still on the sides of them. But yeah, they are like the, you know,
there's Villa or something.
All their hits, huh?
Downey, California is still very proud of the Carpenters.
I never knew that about they were realtors and all that, but
I mean, they were kind of I mean, who the hell's from Downey, California? The Carpenters are from Downey, and they had their studio there in their home, and they bought the home next door and expanded their studio into it, and they built apartment buildings there. But yeah, they're to this day the pride of Downey, California.
Wow, that's interesting.
Yeah, which isn't too terribly far away from places in California that you might not want to drive into at night. You know, it's
really,
it's south of Los Angeles, just like Compton is, but it's below Compton. I think my LA geography is a little weird. No, I know people who have lived there. I know people who grew up there, and it's okay, but it's not Bel Air. You know. It's smaller little houses, and
there's a lot of places like Bel Air, but
can anybody guess, or I may have mentioned this before, what the theme of my prom was?
Moon River? I don't know. What was it?
Creation of Electricity?
Moon River. Andy Williams, was it?
We've only no. I said I specified.
We've only just begun.
Yes.
Actually, it was, right?
It's begun.
Yeah.
Yeah. The guys hated it, but it was the women. All the girls were on the committee, so we had to go with it.
I'll never get why they do that. It's always some slow, sappy song for your graduation. You know,
I think it would have been better if they had a DJ do it, but they had a live band and they had to learn that song, and they were horrible. Yeah. They were horrible. It was just,
that's an interesting one because it starts out slow and then it goes into that kind of not fast, but
a little medium,
ring-a-ding part in the middle, and then it goes slow again.
Yeah.
You know what it reminds me of? Lionel Richie's "Say You, Say Me" was structured the same way.
Mm-hmm.
It certainly gets peppy in the middle. Yes, it does.
Right.
Then it dips back. Yeah, it doesn't end there.
I can't think of many other songs like that.
There's a lot of songs that do that, actually, you know?
Well, name some, because I can't think of a lot of them.
Up and then back down again. Well, you put me on the spot now.
Well,
I'll think of one. But
what's one that Marty Ballin did? Come on, quick.
No, Marty Ballin. Yeah.
Foghat must have one.
Foghat.
Kenny Loggins.
How about
Kenny Loggins?
I got one right now. Everybody's going to know.
Kenny Loggins did it with I'm All Right, but that was...
Here's one right now. Ready? Sister Christian. Slow, upbeat, slow again.
It doesn't change tempo, though. It just gets louder.
Well, I don't know. It kind of goes.
Yeah.
You get the drum beats and then it goes back down.
Maybe We've Only Just Begun doesn't change tempo, but it feels like it does.
Well, I think because they raised their voices in it, the chorus.
The horn section kicks in.
Yeah.
It becomes very Lawrence Welk there for a minute, and then it goes.
Which is getting a little loud on the drums, maybe. But yeah.
It was, oh my gosh.
The brass comes in, it sounds like Chicago. It's like, oh, well, it's kind of the thing.
It actually sounds like the Doors Touch Me. It's like that horn section.
Touch me. Maybe.
Yeah, that doesn't really fit the song either.
It's not smooth.
No.
It's not smooth. It's just horn. I almost said horny. It's not horny. It's hornish. Hornish.
Hornish.
Full of horn. So we have a few minutes left. Would you like to go ahead and do a Boston John's record roundup?
Hey, what else is Boston John known as?
I think we could. I think we could roll through a record roundup for sure. What the hell did I put it?
The Road Dog.
He said the phrase that pays.
Yes.
There it is.
Quench the thirst. Quench the thirst.
Apple over there.
All right.
All right. I got one. Surprisingly, we've never talked about these guys, and I was going through and I saw something today that made me think of this record, and I'm like, I wonder if I still have it. And I had to dig for it, but rock bass and easy rock,
Hit it.
3-hit wonder, and they're all on here.
Hit it.
Hopefully, you're playing "It Takes Two" to make a thing go right. Yeah, let's get the Joy and Pain remake, which was a grown folks R&B way back in the day, and Get on the Dance Floor, which was the first track on side.
That is the track that that's the track I bought the album for.
Yeah,
I didn't buy it for It Takes Two or Joy and Pain. I bought it for Get on the Dance Floor.
That's GO 128 BPM. So 122, 128, 112. That's how I kept.
Get on the dance floor. I need somebody to play that when we're done.
They sample Shake Your Body Down to the Ground by the Jacksons in it.
Is that what it is? Okay. I want to hear it.
A lot of that in there.
And they got an acid drop in there too.
Yeah, a lot of that stab.
Yeah, I like
kind of stuff going on.
I was a sucker. Techno is what that was. That was kind of like the Kevin Sanderson Inner City stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So what was the first release off that album? Was it Get on the Dance Floor?
I think it was It Takes Two. It Takes Two on the radio. Hit it. Yeah, you don't know that. Joy and Pain, which was a remake, an R&B remake. So this was 1988, Profile Records. Nice. And this is, I write a good song, retire, and just cash the checks. Because he really didn't do much after that, because that was the big one. So that's,
I like it.
Mine for the week. And it'll still get your dance floor going. It still wakes everybody up. So,
who's next?
Who's
you?
Me?
Yeah, I'll go.
Oh yeah, or Howie.
Yo, well, Howie. I want to hear Howie.
Well, we're going back to what I talked about earlier, and the only reason is because I hear you guys play it and talk about it, but all I've ever had was the greatest hits from Daft Punk. Ooh. So I was reading a little bit about that, and they said their very first album was more house type music. And so I got that, and it's called Homework.
Yes.
And
Brian's liking it already.
Yep. I put the headphones on. I'm like, oh, no. Oh, yeah. Okay, I got to stay here. I'm like, oh, wait, I'll come back. I just couldn't. I had to listen all the way through.
You couldn't. It's one of those records.
Yeah.
That at least the first will be like, I don't know. I get through Around the World, and after Around the World, I can stop, but I got to listen to Daft and Direct and just go for a while after that, like 4 or 5 songs.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it was, yeah, I remember Jackie was really sick with Stevie, pregnant. And it was like the early first trimester, and she got really sick. About lost both of them. Then they bounced back. We were home from the hospital, and she was finally feeling good. So for us, a quick vacation would be to go to Illinois because it's almost like a different world. They got different restaurants, different road signs. It was like you're in Europe, but you're not. You're in Chicagoland. And it's like 45 minutes away. So we get in the car, we drive down there. And when you go down there, you can pick up Chicago radio stations. So this is probably June of 97. And I hear this song around the world. They keep saying it over and over again. I'm like, oh my God, this is amazing. I'm hearing it as we're pulling into the parking lot of this giant outlet mall. So we're there all day. We go to the Rainforest Cafe, make a total day of this thing. And we leave at night. And when we leave at night, we get in the cars and pulling out of the parking lot. They start playing this Around the World song again. Like, oh my God, this is amazing. This is absolutely amazing.
It's a sign.
So I get home and I crank up my computer, my dial up, and go on the promo only website. And I see that the July 97 issue has a song on there called Around the World by somebody called Daft Punk. It's like, well, the way I do my promo only is I pay for my mainstream radio. It's $160 a year. I get a disc a month, but I can supplement it with anything else I want to supplement it with. So I'm going to try a club series because I'm going to just hope that's the song I want. And sure enough, it was. That was the track. Yeah. That's the first time I heard that. Oh, and I was going to say too, John, you were talking about It Takes Two. Today was Blanca's son Luis's birthday. So we asked him where he wanted to go, and he wanted a burger, and we just collectively decided that Red Robin was the place to go. So we took the car up there, had the windows down. It was actually not too bad of a day today. It just said it was going to be really hot, but it was actually not too bad. The sun was hot, but the air was decent. And on the radio, yes, It Takes Two.
Really?
It just came on, and we did turn it up. So Blanca and Luis and I are cruising down the road in the 65, just cranking up It Takes Two. It was kind of
nice.
So.
But that All Around the World, Daft Punk, had nothing to do with Lisa Stansfield.
No, Around the World's Daft Punk.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. I thought you said All Around the World.
All Around the World is Around the World is Lisa Stansfield as well. Right. ATC does one called Around the World as well. That's really good.
Yeah.
And I think 18s does one called All Around the World.
ATC does Around the World.
Yeah, but there's like an 18s that does All Around the World.
Okay.
18s was ABBA teens. Was originally
no, what was it? What was All Around the World? Hey Girl. What was that? Remember that?
Hey Girl.
All Around the World. Hey Girl. Hey Girl. That was another one. I only know this because when I try to search for Around the World by Daft Punk, all these other songs pop up.
So yeah, get everything but like, this is not it. Nope, that's not it. Nope, that's not it. No, that's
I love ATC's Around the World though. I love that track.
Yeah.
I absolutely love that track. I adore that track. It's so good.
All right.
Who's next?
I'll go next. You guys are all giving us good hip hop hype stuff. And now I'm going to bring us down because I don't know what Matt's got, but not really down. This guy's a legend. November 17th. Yeah, Evergreen. No. I'm going.
Barbra Streisand, Guilty, Barry Gibb. No, sorry.
Released November 17, 1980. And he's a legend. Former Beatle, John Lennon, Double Fantasy.
Oh, yeah.
Great album, I think. Really.
Yeah.
There were, of course, that's where a woman come from. And
Watching the Wheels is on there too, right?
Hold on. Don't mess me up. Just like Starting Over, too. That was a great one.
Starting Over
It's kind of have like an Elvis feel to it, don't you think? A little bit, that song.
Kind of the 50s boogie woogie, yeah.
I thought it was pretty fresh.
Yeah.
I didn't feel, I felt like that was a real fresh, breath of 80s. I don't know.
Yeah, we kind of got the Blue Christmas vibe.
Had the boogie woogie piano. Yeah.
I love that. Something about that. I just love
good.
that song. And I still throw it down once in a while, depending on the crowd, because that's almost like a crazy little thing called Love by Queen, I think. That's the category I would put that in, almost. It's similar.
It's a nice song. It's a great pop song.
Yeah. Beautiful Boy, Darling Boy. That was on. I think that was the flip side of.
That was the flip side of Woman.
Starting over, right?
Woman.
Was it Woman? Okay.
Well, that was the Yoko Ono version. Was the flip side of Woman.
Well, yeah. Okay. All right. I'll give you that. Because
But the Beautiful Boys, where you talk about Darling Sean, I don't know what that was the flip side of. But Woman, the flip side of it was the Yoko Ono version of Beautiful Boy, which was a hard song to listen to.
Most of what she sings is hard to listen to.
Yeah.
Well, what about Dear Yoko? You guys familiar with that track?
Yep.
Yeah, that was. But watching the Wheels, I say, aside from Woman, because that always packed the floor. Watching the Wheels was probably my favorite song on that album. Something about that song that I could relate to. I think everybody could relate to if you listen to the words.
Vibey.
Because we had that day. You know,
play it in Brian's new bar.
Yeah. I wouldn't play it at a wedding, or even cocktail hour. It's wrong for that.
It's a damn shame. I think it's a damn shame that Yoko held on to a great song from those sessions.
Yeah.
And didn't release it until 1983. Remember that one?
Nobody told me.
Yeah.
No.
It'd be days like these.
Nobody told me.
Nobody told me there'd be days like these. Yep.
Yeah.
That was a great song. Good. Can you imagine if that was on Double Fantasy where it belonged? Holy crap. That'd have been an amazing album. Better than it already is.
Yeah, that album, I don't know how many copies it sold. I didn't Google it, but
a lot.
Right when he died, then it just went like bananas. It sounded like
I can't remember if that came out right before or right after he died.
It was after. It was posthumous, I think.
Yeah.
Well, it was ready to go, though. It was a brand new, fresh album.
I think the song was Starting Over. I think it was already on the radio, but the album hadn't dropped.
Wasn't Woman the lead on that one?
Woman was the start of it.
Woman was the lead single on that album, I think.
And then it took a while for them to release Starting Over. Then it was Watching the Wheels, I believe.
Yes, Watching the Wheels was one of the last ones, probably.
Right.
I think Woman was the lead single on that. Maybe I'm wrong.
Woman, I don't know. I think Woman was that was it. That was like bang.
I have to go back to Billboard. I think Starting Over was the first one that I remember from that.
Do you really, John? Okay, well, we can hash it out after.
Let me call Casey Kasem. We'll get an official.
Casey.
Wow.
Dig him up. He's in Detroit somewhere.
I'm Casey Kasem.
Is that slime from the Ghostbusters 2 movie running through Boston now, John, for you to be able to talk to Casey Kasem?
I got special connections. I got him on speed dial.
Well, John tries to prove Brian and I wrong. Matt,
I thought of you today, Eric.
What's that, buddy?
I was flipping through the channels, trying to find something to look at, and the movie Casino came on.
Oh, I love that movie.
And there was that scene when those guys beat those dudes to death with baseball bats on a cornfield. You reminded me of one of those dudes swinging the bat. Like you're just a henchman.
They all
a mobster henchman kind of guy.
They all call me Soprano around here. I'm not lying. They call me Soprano. They all think I'm Italian, and I'm not. If you look at my last name.
I'm not. I don't know why they think that.
I don't know why.
I don't know.
Bada bing, bada boom. I tell them I'm not,
Hey, listen, I'll be digging holes.
Forget about it.
Wise guy.
I'll be digging holes around here soon enough, all right? My trunk is bigger than you think, all right? Yeah. I'm not Italian, all right?
I drive Lincolns. Yeah.
All right, Matt, you're up. We got 6 minutes left.
I got a real joker in front of me, a real midnight toker, but not that album.
Oh,
Fly Like an Eagle by Steve Miller.
Right.
I did that album.
You did? I'm sorry.
What, a month ago?
Maybe. I don't know. If you did,
it was a rando I pulled.
Well,
that's That's okay. Do it again.
Folks,
No,
this is a Brian S. Red rerun right here.
Yeah.
You can't have too much Stephen Miller. Yeah.
Was that one of those where we did the thing where it's like up or down number 4?
I think that's how we ended up on that. Yeah,
left
that
or
was
right?
a random pull on his.
Probably.
Okay.
Yeah.
I need to start writing these down then, but yeah, Take the Money and Runs on here. Of course, Fly Like an Eagle.
Joker.
Good songs, good tracks. If you want to know more about this album, go to our show from about a month ago. And
Brian talks about it in detail.
Red, we'll talk it up.
And Brian will give you all the facts. Yeah. Great album, Matt. Seriously.
Well,
Yeah.
yes.
No.
Apologies to our viewers and listeners for the recycled material here.
Yeah, still a good pick.
Not a problem.
Great record. Again.
All right.
Heck
Where
yeah.
do you go?
Are we all good? I think we're all present and
I
accounted
think
for.
we're all good.
We're one short because we didn't have Jay this week, and it's
No, I didn't go.
But
Thank
we didn't go.
God.
Oh, okay. Oh, he went and grabbed.
Thank God. We're already out of time. If
I
we
know.
have Jay. Yeah.
You don't want to. You don't want to see this lame ass album I pulled.
Uh-oh.
Oh, poor Jay. Yeah. Put a fork in it. Me and Brian need a cigarette, will you?
Let's fork and go.
So this record here, I just saw the other day that I think it turned 36 years old. And
36.
30. I think it 30. It just on this date in August of 1987, this album came out, and it's a greatest hits. But it was the first introduction that a lot of people actually had to this band, and that would be New Order Substance, 1987.
Ah, okay.
Double album. Now the first album is just like candy. It's amazing. It's got all the big ones on it. It's got Perfect Kiss on it. It's got Bizarre Love Triangle. It's got True Faith, which is a relatively new song. I think that was new for this collection. True Faith was the new song. And of course, the biggest selling UK single of all time, Blue Monday, is on there.
That's my favorite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know what our viewers know about New Order, but it's an interesting act because it's, well, in the 80s, it's dance music, but they're playing guitar and drums and things. There's a keyboard player too, but there's live instruments as well. And they're like one of the top acts. They came, they are the former members of a band called Joy Division. And John, you can help me out. Ian, what's his name? Ian what? What's that cat's name? Joy Division?
I only got a handful of those. The Euro stuff wasn't banging for Joy Division.
Hold on a second.
Ian. I almost had it.
Yeah, it's on the tip of my tongue too. Ian Curtis. Okay. So Ian Curtis was the lead singer of this band, and they were doing Manchester stuff, which was like factory record stuff. And it was kind of dark, new wave-ish kind of stuff. Not punk, but new wave. And he was like a pretty violent, aggressive guy, and he had all kinds of like multiple personality disorders and things. Anyway, he hung himself. And they were doing very well, and he hung himself.
Wow.
Because he kind of had a problem. So the band, goes over to New York, I think, just to kind of try to chill out. And they were very anti-disco, by the way, because the new wave thing was anti-disco at the time. Disco was a big thing they wanted to do. But they were hanging around like the East Village at the time, and they were hearing all these new sounds from people like African Bambaataa, and they're hearing Blondie's Rapture, and they're hearing all this. I was like, I'm supposed to hate this, but I actually really like it, and it's cheering me up because I was so depressed. They became a dance band. Became one of the biggest, club dance bands of the 80s. So I did see them live probably 10 years ago, and they were amazing live. Really good live. But anyway, that's Joy Division. Or no, I'm sorry, New Order Substance. So if you don't know New Order Substance, check it out. You actually probably do know it. You've heard it. but it's that good. You got to listen to it. It's really good.
I got to confess, once you said Ian, I automatically thought Ian Matthews with Shake It, Baby. Shake It. Oh, it's the only Ian I know. I'm sorry. Yeah.
I kept trying to say Ian Anderson, but that's the flute player from Jethro Tull. Wrong guy.
Right.
You know, Ian Curtis. Yeah, Ian Curtis. Yeah.
Hey, Brian, that was a good pick. I think I'll take it next week.
Yeah.
You should.
Bring it back here in 2 weeks' time. Use it again.
You better give it a couple.
Totally should.
Hey, Joy Division's up for grabs, so you can always take that.
Yeah, I've got Joy Division's Substance back here. They had a greatest hits called Substance 1980. So this was, and it was a black cover with white letters. So this was the opposite, the white cover with black letters. But not many people even knew that. Most people don't even know that this is the members of Joy Division that are in this band, or even what that's all about. This just kind of stood on its own. The greatest hits was almost like a breakout hit in the US. Mm-hmm. In Europe, I think they knew who they were, but here, the alternative kids knew who they were, but a lot of people, and they were hearing it in the clubs. Mm-hmm. And MTV was doing videos.
And the remake of Blue Monday didn't hurt either. When Orgy did it or whatever, then it just...
That was 10 years later.
Yeah. A lot of people dug. That's
years later.
That led me down the rabbit hole to go back. Oh, this is covered by so and so.
Blue
They
Monday
did pretty well with it.
in my clubs.
Yeah.
I played
Blue Monday was good.
Club. Blue Monday.
Yeah, both versions are good.
Yeah,
Orgy's one's a little more industrial, a little more.
Yeah, Orgy is just loud.
Cameras and radiators, clang, clang, clang.
Well, True Faith was in heavy rotation on MTV, and that's when MTV was relevant. If you had a video, you got attention as an artist. And so that helped them a lot. Something else I will add to this. I don't have my glasses on, but yeah. What do you think I paid for this record? Price tags on it.
I can't see
Original
it,
copy, double album. It's in mint. What did I pay for it?
How long ago did you buy it?
$8.
25 years ago.
25 years.
$8.
$20.
$6.99.
Over 25, probably over 25 years ago.
$7.99.
It was $5 for $1.
Well,
So I paid
Man.
20 cents for it.
Oh my God!
It's currently worth probably about $200.
And it's still wrapped up, right? Is that?
No. It's I've got a protective cover over it, but it's been open, but it's mint. It's absolutely mint.
Good pick. Very nice.
Yeah.
Weird show tonight, but I thought I'd give it a try. Something different, music stuff.
it was nice. Very nice.
Yeah. Anyway, enjoy the rest of your week, folks. Whether you're celebrating Halloween or Thanksgiving or, I don't know, Cinco de Mayo 2027, whatever it is, have a good one. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.
Goodbye, guys.